Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 21 of Breaking Through Your Brick Walls. This is the live podcast where you get to meet successful business owners, receive a glimpse of life behind the scenes with them, along with struggles they've had and overcome. It's full of gold nuggets, and it's the place we hang out to be authentic and share a piece of real life with you. Today, I am talking with Kate Wratten. She is a digital marketing specialist, and she has spent the last 5 years in the trenches discovering the latest and greatest tools and techniques to achieve true digital marketing success. Yay! Kate takes great pride in her work as a strategist, a consultant, and a mentor to female entrepreneurs as they take on their digital marketing with confidence and ease. As a work-from-home mom, wife, and entrepreneur, Kate knows the importance of simplicity and efficiency when it comes to running a business and staying present at home. It's her mission to encourage women in business to learn and discover the powers of digital marketing and automation to shorten their to-do list, decrease their stress, and buy them more quality family time. My name is Pamela Lewerenz. I am known as the Brick Wall Coach. I'm a productivity coach that works with overwhelmed, stressed out solopreneurs to help them create space and time in their busy days. So if you're tired of trying to stay focused on all the things there are to do with running a business and you're ready to step into your role as CEO, I'm the gal that can help you get there clearly and confidently. So I'm so excited to talk to Kate today, and she is going to share so much good stuff with us. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Pamela. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, me too. Me too. I every time I talk to you, I'm like, oh, it's like talking to my best friend. She gets me. She gets me, everybody.
I agree. It's completely mutual.
Oh, well, I am going to start off with asking you to dive a little bit deeper into the personal side of your life so that we can give a face, to that business name.
You betcha. So, as Pamela said, my name is Kate Wratten. I'm a digital marketing expert, and I've spent the last 5 years getting to know digital marketing. I came from a medical background, so I had zero experience in the online world. I had zero experience with marketing, but I found this little passion, and it suddenly became this entity of its own. And that's where my business kind of came from. I started as a VA, and that's when the marketing kind of came under my radar, and it kind of grew from there. And so I actually started my business because I knew that one day I wanted to be home with my kids. I didn't even have kids yet, but one day I would want that. And so I started my business because I was having fertility issues. And I was like, I need a distraction. Like, this is crazy. Like, I can't focus just on this. It's going to make me mad.
Yeah.
And so I started my business, and not even 30 days later, I was pregnant. And suddenly I was like, this is real. We are doing this. I don't have a choice. So I dove in, head first. When I got pregnant, I went on maternity leave. I'm in Canada, so it's a little bit different. We have a year of maternity leave. So I took the year, and I never turned back. I didn't go back to my job. That was 5 years ago, and now I have 2 kids, and I always thought I wanted to stay home with my kids. I thought that that's what I wanted to do, was like work around play dates and all those fun things. And I love being a mom, but I love my business. And so I actually decided to put my kids in daycare and full-time preschool, and I get to enjoy my time with them that much more now. So I know that was a big struggle that I had as an entrepreneur. It's like, oh, I should be that stay-at-home, work-from-home mom. Like, that's what you got to do. And if you're on the fence and you're not quite sure, just do it. Do what feels good for you. You don't have to follow any rules or do whatever the people say. It's got to work for you.
That's the nice part. There are no rules to follow. It's your business, so it's your decision.
Yes.
And I'm sure you find it much easier to create that space and time for yourself now and not have the interruptions. I mean, even if it was, it just works out across the board for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, I am hands down a better parent because I have my passion. And I have two passions. One is my family, but I am more focused when I'm with them, and I'm not stressing about trying to fit a meeting in here or trying to take a call there. And it just has made me and how I work a lot more efficient. So all
Nice.
the power to you if that's the boat that you're in, because it's hard to make that decision sometimes. But
Yeah.
yeah, so now I have two kids. One is 5, I have a 5-year-old son and a 1.5-year-old daughter, and a loving husband. And it's a good time over here. It's a little crazy, a little chaotic, but it's
As
good.
it always is when you're
Mhm.
raising a family and growing a business and juggling everything.
Yeah,
That's what it feels like some days.
all the things.
Yeah, yeah. So what exactly is a digital marketing specialist?
So I get this question a lot because people are like, well, like, are you a consultant? Are you a coach? Do you implement? And
All
the
of
answer is,
the above.
I
No.
do all of the above. What do you need? I do it. No, so I first started with digital marketing doing webinars, and I'm actually a certified webinar specialist. And so that was like the little corner of the world that I really enjoy working in. However, there's something else that I really love working in, and that is working with female entrepreneurs. So it kind of grew. And so now I am, like you said, all of the above. I'm a coach, I'm a consultant, I'm an implementer for all things marketing. So whether it's setting up the tech behind your business, whether it's the accountability to actually take the steps in your business to get it done, or maybe it's, tackling how to fit all those crazy pieces of this thing that they call a funnel together. It's kind of taking that big picture and seeing how to make digital marketing work for you and your business so that you can be successful. So I've actually coined myself as a business success coach because a huge part of being successful in your business is understanding how to market yourself. So
Yes.
that is kind of in a whole what I do without getting really, fine details, but basically anything that takes your business from the point that you're at today to the point where you want to be, that is the umbrella.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
So when you first started your own business, is that when you did the webinar piece of it?
Not even. When I
Not
first
even.
started my business, I started as a general VA because that's all I knew. I worked in
Yeah.
the medical world, and so I knew admin. And I was like, I got admin all day long. I can
Yeah.
do this. But then I started discovering all these pieces, and I discovered there was an online world. To me, it was like, what? What
That's
is this?
exactly what happened to me. I mean, the same kind of thing. When I started, it was in person. So it was not a big deal. And then when I looked at it and started investigating, I'm like, wait a minute, you can do things online.
Right?
Like, like this whole new world opened up. And yeah, it opens up, but so does 50 million Pandora boxes that you
It's
have
a
to
can of
open the
worms.
doors and the windows and what do I do and where do I go? Oh my gosh, so you went from like general VA and
A
then you
local
started
company.
offering um, doing webinars, setting webinars up for people, being the moderator, doing the slide shows, all that stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So doing all the technical pieces and, helping them with their run throughs and was this part long enough? Was this part short enough? Did I do enough of that? And so I really just help people to accomplish a successful webinar, which can be super daunting, but also really overwhelming. So that's where it kind of started was general VA. And then I went to webinars and then I went, whoa, there's so much more to this that I really like. I can't just leave it there.
Yeah.
So like most businesses, it's like this evolving process of like, oh, this is really fun this year. And, I'll admit shiny syndrome at the very beginning was huge. It was so tough. And so I finally found like everyone says, you got to niche down and you got to do this and you got to do that. I was like, I'm going to niche down on who I love working with and what
Yeah.
they need. And so it's not so much like I do this exact one thing. It's like, no, I support these people in doing what they need to move forward. And I know I've been there. I get it. It's hard. It's stressful. It's overwhelming. And so to have someone, I wish I had someone that was like, these are the steps you need to take and I'm
Wouldn't
going to be
that be
there to
nice?
support you. Right? Back then I was like, I didn't even know a coach existed for something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just thinking, oh yeah, you had me back at shiny object syndrome. I think I went through that for probably a good 18 months.
Oh, at
It's like,
least.
oh, look over here. And I'd set everything all up and it would be great. And the next thing would come along and I'd be like, oh, wait a minute. I got to dive in and do this. I mean, I must have learned, I actually did a webinar on it because that's how many I learned, at least 18 different like project management systems. Like
Absolutely.
got my hands down and dirty, went into them and said, okay, I really like it for this reason, but these are reasons I don't like it. Move on to the next one. Yeah, I had so many of them. It was crazy,
And I
but it
think
was fun. Like I was addicted to it.
I don't think I've met an entrepreneur who hasn't done that. It's just this like, and I blame it on the pregnancy and like post-pregnancy hormones because I started my business so early on and it was like I was pregnant and then I started my business at the same time and then I was on like maternity leave and then I was sleep deprived and then I was pregnant again and it was like this revolving door and I was like, it was just the pregnancy hormones. I'm just blaming it on that. I see clearer now. Let's just move forward. But yeah, it's a process that's really hard to get out of.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So now, who is your ideal client and what way do you like to work with her?
Yeah, so I absolutely love working with women in business and typically moms. I love having that connection. I love being able to give them grace and having them understand that it's okay, that this is a phase, that things are going to change and that I've been there. And there's something about that ability to connect with someone on the same level and have them understand. And whether that's me understanding their situation or them understanding mine. I have kids. In fact, one's homesick today. Like life happens. And sometimes having someone to say, it's okay, let's move on. Let's go to the next thing. And so working with women in business, there's just a connection there for me that I can't pass up. I absolutely love it. And so I typically work with them either in group accountability programs or one-on-one coaching. Or the other aspect is I do high-end implementation. So it kind of depends on where they're at and what they need and what kind of support they're looking for. If they need someone on accountability to help them take what knowledge they know and clarify it and help them implement it, that's one thing I do. Or if they are like, whoa, hands off, I don't want to know about it. I don't want to learn anything new. Just take this and do it. That's the other like total opposite end of the scale. So I try and find what works best for them, where they're at now, and what financially is feasible to even do. But
Right.
typically anything with women in business and helping them achieve those business goals through their marketing makes my heart sing.
Yeah. See, mine too. I just like that helping hand. And I can tell you, when I was in that accountability group with you, I probably would still be sitting here without my member vault done, but you gave me that extra push that I
Oh,
needed. You were
I love
like,
it.
okay, and I thought, okay, I do this with my clients. Why can't I do this with myself? It's just, we don't often give ourselves permission to do that. And I mean, once it was all laid out and you said, okay, this week and the next week, and I was like, yep, done, done, done. It was launched by Labor Day, which was, I was hoping I was going to launch it like in January, but
Right?
I just kept putting it off and giving it, what I say, lower pecking order on my list. Yeah, it's only for me. So, I'm just going to keep pushing it. But that was really helpful. Otherwise, wouldn't have my member vault. Be
I'm so
still
glad.
sitting there undone.
We are our own worst clients, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
and it's really hard. I mean, I'm a marketer, and so I do for a living, and I hate doing my own marketing, but I love doing everyone else's. So it
Yes.
just,
Yes.
it's a fact of life that sometimes it's easier to dig in and get to the meat of potatoes of someone else's problems
Yeah.
before we deal with our own.
For sure. for sure. So I know we talked about shiny object syndrome and some other things, but is there something that's really standing out to you that you struggled with, some kind of hurdle you had to jump over when you came into being an entrepreneur?
Well, if I have to pick just one, because
I
there was
know.
a lot,
I always tell people my list is long.
right? The endless list. Probably my biggest struggle was time. And I know everyone says that, but I was trying to start a business and raise a newborn child who was 5 weeks early. And I had this expectation of myself of I'm going to earn the same income and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and it's going to be fantastic. And it was like, I suddenly had to realize things have changed. I am not the same person. I'm not doing the same things. I have to give myself grace. And it took me years, like literally years to figure that out.
So now we're going to get into a couple fun things before we wrap this up. I like the fun things, learning and diving a little bit deeper into you. So a favorite book of yours, a favorite podcast, do you have something like is a go-to for you?
Ooh, good question. Favorite podcast? I have two. I love Amy Porterfield's podcast. I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but if you search her, she's amazing. So that's my go-to like marketing, business building podcast. And then when it comes to like life and business, I really like Rachel Hollis's Rise Together podcast. And I actually love episodes when her and her husband are on because I find it like super intriguing to find out how they actually function together. So those are my favorite podcasts. I love Jennifer Sincero's books. You Are a Badass and You're a Badass. Money one? What's it called?
Yeah, I was going to say part 2, I call it.
They're sitting right here.
To be continued.
Yeah, I love those. They were like my first personal development books. And I was actually, one showed up on my doorstep one day. I think it was You're a Badass at Making Money. I had never ordered it. I have no idea where it came from. It showed up on my doorstep in an Amazon box. And I was like, all right, I'm going to take this as a sign.
Divine providence.
Right? I just finished the first one and it was fantastic. So yeah, she's my go-to book gal. I just love her.
Nice. Yeah, I just finished rereading that. And then Rachel Hollis was just here in South Carolina, like in Charleston, like 2 hours from me. I was so excited. It was the dates that I was going to be in Connecticut.
No.
I was like, are you kidding? But if she was here once, she'll come again, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm thinking too, because how amazing would that have been? I was like, and so close. I was so excited until I saw the dates. Next time, it'll go on my list for another time. All right, another fun question. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now?
Ooh, that's a gooder. Okay, so 2 years from now, I want my business to be in a place where I can kind of let it go a little bit more. Just take a little bit more of a step back, whether it's to go take a trip and not be like, brakes are on, I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm very much in that space of, building some continual income where whether I hate the word passive, to be honest, nothing's passive, but
exactly.
Everyone relates to that word. So a more consistent passive stream of income. So that's where I want to be in terms of my business, doing exactly what I'm doing right now, but just connecting with more people, helping more women achieving their goals. I am a huge animal person, so our family goal is to move onto a farm. I grew up on farms. My husband grew up on property, so that's where we want to go back to. So that's where our personal goal is as it connects to business, because I'm moving all of that forward. So yeah, I just want to keep growing. I want to keep expanding personally. I want to keep developing myself, and just connecting with more people.
Good. I love that. So maybe some evergreen courses or something along that lines. And how far would it be for you to move from where you are to relocate to a farm?
I actually live in a small town, so we will stay where we are. All of our families around us.
Oh, nice.
But we'll just move we're kind of in the city center. I say city very vaguely, but we are just moving to the outskirts is the plan.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, before we wrap up, do you have anything new that's coming out either the end of this year, the beginning of next year, anything you wanted to share with the listeners?
You betcha. So
Okay.
right now, I'm actually just in the process of putting together a brand new product that I'm going to be launching. End of December is the goal. It's called the 60-second content concept. And so this is a brand new product and strategy I've created for content creation. I came up with it because I hate creating content personally.
You must have heard me struggling to create my content.
Oh, I hate it. I hate how much time it takes. I hate how overwhelming it is. Yeah. I hate the doubt that it brings up. Like, who am I? Why should I be talking about this? It just brings up all those negative things inside me. It's like my body goes, oh, do we have to? Like, we don't want to, so we're going to come up with all these reasons why we shouldn't. And so I do this every year. And finally I was like, this is it. I'm tired of this. I'm not doing this anymore. We're going to come up with a way to make this fun, quick, and stress-free. And I sat down one day and I somehow came up with this idea out of nowhere. I had no intention. I'd done no prep work in advance. I was just like, we're just going to hammer this out. And I finished my content for 52 weeks in less than 60 minutes.
Yay, I am so in on that.
Holy Dinah. It was so exciting. I literally called my husband at work and I was like, you have no idea what just happened. And for him, he's like, so what? Yeah. Whatever. Like, big deal. And so I got super excited and I was like, went and talked to a few friends. I was like, guys, guess what I just did? Is this like superhuman? And they were blown away. They're like, yeah, this is superhuman. Who does that? Yeah. And so I'm put it together. I'm hosting a live workshop so that I can get the recording of this done. And then it is going into a product and it's going to be packed with the actual strategy to do it, the templates to do it, the resources to take it from a 1 day's worth of content to a week's worth of content, and then how to repurpose it down the road so that those golden nuggets of wisdom don't get lost. And it's all about reducing and reusing and recycling your content and your time so that you're not overwhelmed and stressed and exhausted. So I'm so excited to launch that product at the end of this year. I think that it was what I was looking for. And so I hope that serves as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. I'm going to add that link into this so that everybody can have access to it because, oh my gosh, you have to be there for this.
So much fun.
And I have honestly learned, and I think this is the first year that it like dawned on me. Here it is, 5 years in, same thing. It's like, why am I struggling to keep producing new content? How many ways can you say the same thing after 5 years? Wait a minute. I'm going to go back to and started to look at everything that I already have out there. And there are so many different ways to repurpose everything. It's amazing. It's amazing. Huge. And the more people I'm talking with, they're like, oh, I do this piece of it. Or, I can go in and create, 4 blog posts from one video. And I'm like, you can? I'm like, I love it. So that's the kind of stuff to look at. Yeah.
It's huge. And I actually just did a live stream on this yesterday. And I was talking about how we all think we have to come up with these hot, fresh, crazy ideas every time we go live, or every time we write a blog post, or every time we post in our own groups. And the truth is, there's actually a statistic that 25 to 30% of all content online is duplicate content or repetitive. So it's not about fresh, brand new ideas. It's putting your spin on it.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that took me a really long time to realize. It wasn't just an excuse. It was the truth. You don't have to be this brilliant mind coming up with crazy concepts all the time. You just have to make it your own.
Yes, exactly. And like you said, a little different spin on each time you come out with it in a different way. And believe me, when you're doing it, especially on social media, what happened in January, they're not going to remember by July. You've got how many new eyes on it. So even if people were like, oh, I remember this content from, yeah, but it's got a different spin. And how about all the new eyes that are getting on it? They're not going to go back and look at it from January, but they'll start looking at it when they come in.
Absolutely. And how many times you can hear 5 different experts say the same thing slightly differently, and the sixth person will say it in a way that resonates with you. And you go,
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
brilliant.
like, finally. It's like,
Their own spin.
yep,
It's whatever.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Oh, that's great. Good, good, good. All right. So I am going to end this with having you give us a few words of wisdom, some kind of parting advice to all these solopreneurs out here.
Parting advice. Don't give up. The moment you feel like you're ready to give up is the moment before you have your breakthrough. So just keep pushing no matter how hard it gets. Give yourself grace. Take a deep breath. Go for a walk and come back and keep going, because it's so easy to just give up or follow that shiny object syndrome. And I'll be honest, the moment that I stopped doing that was the moment I finally hit that success point in my business. So it's possible for you too. Don't give up. Just keep going.
Perfect. I love that advice. I try to tell myself that every single day. Because you have to remind yourself, no matter if you're like brand new in business or you've been in it for years, you still have the same kind of struggles. They may not be everyday struggles, but they're going to occur. I mean, it happens, That's good. Excellent. Thank you so, so much for sharing with us today. This has been great.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks so much for having me. Like you said, every time we get together, it's like chatting with an old friend. So I was so excited.
Oh, good. Good. Well, and thank you to everyone who joined us for another episode of Breaking Through Your Brick Walls. And I'm going to leave you with, remember, every day is a good day to be you. You're amazing, and don't forget it.